it makes me a little bit mad when I see people buy this new and I'm like, you could have saved so much money. Hello you guys, welcome back to my channel. You may notice the background is a little different. It is because I'm in my Airbnb. I did a vlog about how I'm staying here for a month for modeling and like content creation and stuff, but you guys can go check that out for more info. But I just wanted to say that because clearly we don't be in here all the time. I put on this like colorful kind of outfit, that way y'all would have something to look at because it's very bland back here. This is a video that I've been thinking about making. I wasn't really sure how I wanted to do it, but now I finally figured it out. Today I'm going to be telling you guys, based off of my experience, how to shop. You guys know that I'm very into vintage. You know that I'm very into new things as well. Well, I think some of you guys know. Some of y'all trip every time I buy something new and I just be like, do y'all not realize how often I buy something new? They be literally shocked like, oh, you got something from there. Yeah, I did. I always do. Like, when did I say that I don't? So with that being said, I'm not here to tell you what to do. You can do whatever you want with your money. If you want to buy every single thing that you have secondhand, that is great on you. If you want to buy everything new, also great. Now, some of these are based off of finding more affordable things, but some of these are also based off of finding things that are just more worth your money. Some may not save you money, but in the long run, it kind of does, and we'll get into why. Before we get started, I've got a few rules. They're pretty simple. Rule number one, I don't like talking to myself. So if you have any feedback or like a comment, or if I forget something like what you would buy new or used, let me know. Rule number two, if you have feedback and you're in the mood to be nasty, just don't comment at all.
Hey champ, that's really interesting. Next time, keep it to yourself.
And rule number three, hit like if you like the video. That's it. Okay, for the first segment, we're gonna talk about what I would buy new. So this is something that I've learned to buy new literally probably in the last few months. This is number one on my list, honestly, for a reason, and that is shoes. I prefer to buy my shoes new, and here is why. I've got a long history of buying like heels and stuff from the thrift store. I've never bought sneakers from the thrift store, but especially my heels. Reason being, a lot of times at the thrift store or vintage shop, if you buy something on Depop, I've had countless shoes break on me while out and about. They looked absolutely fine when I picked them up from a thrift store or a vintage shop, and they were not absolutely fine. So I have just went down the row of buying so many thrifted or vintage shoes that just did not take me far. The shoes that I buy new, they just last me so much longer. Shoes are expensive, I know. I personally feel that shoes are something you do want to invest more money in. And if you do buy secondhand, I would recommend buying it like off of something like Poshmark, Mercari, Depop. Really look at how they describe it. I wouldn't recommend buying something worn. The second thing you want to buy new is your whites. And I cannot stress this enough. Shirts like this that are white, definitely I buy them new. White t-shirts, I buy them new. I feel like the reason being that I buy these things new is pretty obvious, but if it is not obvious, I literally love to buy my whites new because they're crisp. You don't want yellow armpit stains in your clothes. You don't want it to already be worn out. You wanted a crisp white, because honestly, even when you buy it new, it's probably not gonna last you that long. So to wear someone else's whites, very, girl, you may get one wear out of that. Highly recommend buying your whites new. Y'all, I'm not used to this little city life. I can't tell you how many trains I done heard, how many sirens I heard. I just heard a siren 10 minutes ago. Third thing, this is also something recently that I found out that I really never want to buy secondhand again, and that is black blazers. I know y'all done see me in these YouTube videos in a black blazer, and what's something you noticed about me in that black blazer? I did thrift those, and they always came with some lint on them. The lint on a black blazer is undefeated. It is relentless, it is steadfast, it's not going anywhere. One thing that I'm actually looking for now, a nice crisp black blazer, just a good quality one that fits me, one literally like that just looks good on me and is super crisp. There's nothing like a good black blazer. If I have to pay $150 or $100 for a good black blazer, it honestly will be so worth it for me because I wear them so often and it's such a staple piece and it's so versatile. So I put luxury bags under new, but let me tell you, I also put it in buy used. Now here's the case when I would buy a luxury handbag new. So a lot of times you will see secondhand places selling something like this Louis Vuitton bag that I have. I bought mine from the Louis Vuitton store. I have seen this bag almost twice as much on secondhand shops. That is the point where if you can go on the website and buy it brand new, I highly recommend it. So sometimes you should get your luxury handbags brand new. We're gonna talk about when you should get them secondhand when we talk about secondhand purchasing. So I kind of tapped into this next one a little bit earlier when I discussed whites, but we're not talking about whites anymore. We're talking about basics. I think it's very important to buy your basics, like the things that you're probably always going to have on, brand new. You want them crisp, you want them ready to wear, you want them to last. So along with white t-shirts, like black tees, your plain bodysuits, I like to wear wife beaters. I definitely buy those brand new. Okay, so next up, we are to the what you should buy secondhand category. I feel like I just sounded so fake just now. I don't know, my voice be changing. So the first thing that I have is actually what I have on, and that is the category of trendy jackets. So that is, you know, we've been seeing it everywhere. We've got our Letterman jackets. This is like the race car jacket, leather jackets, things like that. So here's my reason for suggesting buying those secondhand. Now I've been seeing it everywhere, and I'll put up some pictures. I've been seeing stores selling Letterman jackets. First of all, it doesn't have the Letterman look. I feel like OG Letterman jackets, the ones that have already been put into production, they just have an overall better look. Second of all, they've been selling jackets like these at a really high price point. You're spending all this money on something that's new that really doesn't even look as good as the OG thing. For instance, I went and bought this jacket. It was $100, which is actually really good for a jacket like this. Like this really could go for like $300. I've seen it. Of course, it was kind of like a on the whim purchase, and you know, you're not excited to spend $100 out of nowhere, but here's how I justify my purchase, and here's how you can justify yours. Let's say I bought those $200, $250, $300 jackets that have been trending and going around on our favorite website. And let's say I didn't want any more next year. Well, there's a problem. So I paid about $200 to $300 for it, but when I resell it, people are not gonna want to pay more than like $100 for it, to be honest. And that kind of sucks because you paid like 2 to 3 times that amount for your jacket that you may have barely even worn. But if you do invest in a secondhand or vintage type Letterman or race car jacket or even leather jackets, you can resell that for the same amount that you bought it for, or maybe even more by the time you get rid of it, because it's vintage. I personally feel like that makes way more sense than buying these new ones. And let me just say, that doesn't mean that you will never see me buy like a new leather jacket. I definitely own some, and that's just because you're not gonna find everything secondhand.
You're not gonna find everything secondhand.
I'm just saying, if you're looking into like the streetwear trends, things like this, girl, do not go buy a new one. Even if you feel like you have to pay a little more for a secondhand or vintage one, it's gonna just pay off way more in the long run than buying that brand new one. All right, so we're back to luxury handbags, and here is the case where I would buy a secondhand one. I don't know if you guys have seen, but the Balenciaga bag, I forgot which one it is, but if you pay attention to fashion on Instagram or anything like that, you've seen this bag
a million times.
And I just been noticing every girl on the street has this bag, and I'm like, dang, y'all just rolling in dough. But probably not, and not saying they broke or anything, like, not saying that, but they probably got a really good deal on this bag, and that is because they likely bought this bag secondhand. A lot of these trending luxury bags are bags that are not new. They were made a long time ago, 90s, early 2000s, maybe even longer. 9 times out of 10, you'll be able to find this bag secondhand on the internet. So if you are looking for a bag that's designer and it's not trending, I highly recommend finding that secondhand. Somebody is probably getting rid of that thing for $100, $200, $300, $400, $500. You see one on the internet that you like, look for it secondhand first. Okay, another thing that I recommend buying secondhand, and we're going back to blazers, but we gotta cut out the black blazers. No, because we know that is a absolute lint trap. White blazers, that's a sometimes. We've already explained why. But blazers in general, they just look better from the past. Like, vintage blazers just have something that today's blazers don't have, and that's quality. Now, of course, they do have high quality blazers still, but you are gonna probably pay like $200. So if you are looking for like snazzy little plaid blazers, little Gossip Girl vibes, Ralph Lauren, things like that, check out the Depop girlies, check out Poshmark, Mercari, check out your local thrift store. That is where I buy my blazers. You won't catch me buying a regular blazer brand new. That is, to me, that's not that smart, but of course do you. The next thing that I highly recommend buying secondhand is statement tops. Of my little Y2K tops, my little Bella Hadid looking tops, and I've been seeing new brands bring these back full force. And there was this one that I saw that was really cute. I think it was on Jaded London. It was like $50. Now don't get me wrong, I would purchase from Jaded London in a heartbeat, but not this particular item, because this is literally a $50 shirt that I have bought something similar to at a thrift store. Now that's really not too bad, but my point is, like, things like that you definitely can find secondhand. You definitely can find on Depop, and why not support a small business while you're at it? Okay, next up, I better not see y'all in this new. I better not.
I hate to be that type of person. I hate to be that person in that situation, but I gotta speak real.
Graphic tees, band tees. Okay, so I know people buy this new because literally my little sister buys them new, and I completely understand. When I wasn't in that budget realm, I bought these things new as well, because vintage can be expensive. But if you are at that point or getting ready to get to that point, I highly recommend buying your vintage tees, your sports tees, all vintage. They are higher quality. They are, god dang, what they got going on? They're higher quality. They have a better look. The ones that you see in Forever 21 today, they just don't be giving what they supposed to have gave. Because, I don't know, the vintage tees just definitely have a different look to them. And same goes for like when I purchased this jacket, or when you purchase vintage Letterman jackets. If you're trying to resell that Forever 21 t-shirt, baby, expect about $10. If you try to resell your vintage band tee, girl, you could probably sell it for like $200. So you can find these at the thrift store. It's gonna be really hard to find because I know people often source those, and even like the people who work there, I don't think they let those hit the floor because I don't ever see them. A good place to definitely find those is definitely those secondhand shops that I've already mentioned. Okay, this next one, this one actually makes me a little bit mad. It makes me a little bit mad when I see people buy this new, and I'm like, you could have saved so much money. So y'all know these pants I have on right now. These are from IMG. But I bought them on Depop. These pants probably went on IMG for probably over $100. I think I paid like $70, $80. I mean, that's not saving a lot of money, like $30. You know, that's pretty good if you ask me. And sometimes you can save even more. I'm saying that to say, I kind of consider IMG like an Instagram brand. Like, if I didn't have an Instagram, I wouldn't know about them. So all of these like Instagram brands, boutiques, whatnot, the very popular ones, girl, if they have something that you know they keep selling, they always have on their website, they had it on there last year, do not save your coin up to go buy that new. Go on Depop. I'm telling you, somebody is selling that same piece for probably $30, $40, $50, probably half off. Cheaper. Now there are another pair of IMG pants that I have that I did buy brand new, and that is just because they were white. Okay, so this is honorable mention, and I need to hurry up and purchase mine before y'all go on my Depop and steal it. Since we're getting into that season, I don't recommend buying Halloween costumes new. The first thing I do when I know who I want to be for Halloween, if I don't feel like making the costume myself, I'm gonna look and see if somebody is selling theirs. A few years ago, I was Harry Potter. It was like this cute little schoolgirl version of Harry Potter, da-da-da-da-da. I think I bought that particular one off of Macari. If you go on Party City, whatnot, that same costume probably cost like $70. I bought this one for like 40, 35, something like that. There's so many people like wearing these same Halloween costumes year after year after year. If you're looking for a Halloween costume, go online. I just feel like there's no point of us to keep buying the Little Mermaid costume over and over for $100 offline. There's just no reason for that. These are my absolute suggestions, recommendations. You don't have to follow them. I'm also thinking about doing a video of like how I shop vintage and secondhand or things like that, like on Depop. I know someone recommended that to me, and that's honestly something that I've kind of been wanting to do. So I guess it's kind of like an online shop with me, because y'all, that's where I get my most fire stuff, is like Depop. My most iconic pieces come from there. So I know a lot of people struggle with figuring out how to shop on there, so let me know if that's something you would be interested in.
Also, if you guys are watching this on my first day of posting, then you're just in time. Tomorrow I will be sharing my first fall shopping list. So these are all affordable things under $100 that I personally would wear. So you can kind of just think of me as like your personal shopper in this case. So if you're interested in seeing the list, shopping, the links, then head to my blog page. The link will be in the description box. And basically just click that link, go to the home page of my blog, scroll all the way to the bottom, and if you type in your email, you can sign up to be notified when I drop the list, because the things do sell out fast.
Do you feel like I missed something? I probably did. So comment below what you personally look for more secondhand, or what you like to look for more on the new side, and why. Even if you have some site recommendations for these type of things, you know, let your girl know. Let us know in the comments. I really hope this video was helpful. I hope it could give you some type of insight, and thank you for watching. I hope y'all liked it, and I'll see y'all in my next video. Bye.